Distinguished invitees, assembled delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. On behalf of ETCIO, Persistent Systems and Google Cloud, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to the transformation series, Accelerate Cloud Transformation Journey. I am Vaishnavi Desai, your host for the evening. We are all aware that the events that have triggered in the last 3 years, unfortunately, have completely transformed the way businesses operate and customers are expecting. In keeping with this evolution, businesses too have placed transformation on top of their charts. Today, organizations are looking to drive the complete transformation of their entire business by inventing new ways to accomplish their objectives using the cloud. And mind you, these range from making core processes more efficient, to improving the way how they reach and better serve their own customers, to building skills that accelerate their ability to transform. This has led to a search for an ecosystem with the right mix of infrastructure, apps and platform, and a lean towards data to provide a backbone for the transformation agenda. The predicament is clear. So this evening, let's hear it from your peers with a data strategy transformation agenda and the right insight into the right platform to finally align tech with the business objective of growth. To set the tone of the evening, I would like to invite Manvinder Singh from Persistent Systems. Manvinder takes big giants through their cloud and app modernization journeys for them to witness true technology transformation. Manvinder is known for devising plans that balance demand and supply for the effective delivery of digital transformation programs. So without further ado, I would request Manvinder to grace the stage, and please give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So welcome to the event. Hope everyone has a good evening. So this is a transformation cloud series organized by Persistent along with Google Cloud. So we'll start off this presentation. So what is the key to digital transformation? So for any organization, digital transformation is very important. Why? Because they are looking ways to increase their business in terms of acquiring more customers, knowing their existing customers, how they can reach out to their customer and grow their business organically as well as by using data strategy. So this is the key why we are doing this series, such that we can discuss about this and have a great session on this. So we have done study and found their top cloud initiative in 2023 for the across the organization were, first was cost saving. So people have moved to public cloud in 2-3 years. They have explored public cloud, they moved from in-house infrastructure to public cloud. But for them, cost optimization is the first issue, and second is the migrating more workloads to cloud. So they are analyzing more workloads which are in-house and how they can move to cloud and leverage the cloud journey. And the third one is moving on premises software to SaaS. Like we have many CRMs, ERP, in-house developed ERPs, but now companies are leveraging SaaS-based products to enhance their experience and give power to their employees and customers. So these were the three top cloud initiatives in 2022. And once people has adopted, so there are some challenges as well. The first challenges which people face is security. Security, they have a fear that if they move to cloud, is it secure? Is the data secure? What will be the data strategy? What are the leakages point? And second was lack of resource and expertise. So in this, Persistent and Google Cloud come together and help their customer to have a secure environment. It's a joint responsibility wherein we explain how we can make our infrastructure more secure, how we can fill this gap of lack of resource by providing them resource. And third is managing cloud spend, which is key to every organization to have a FinOps as well along with the technology. So use of multi-cloud architecture by all organizations. So what is multi-cloud? So many companies have hybrid architecture, many companies are using multi-cloud. So they are using it for DR setup. They are doing, for example, your entire production workloads in one cloud, and you're looking for B cloud for taking out data and doing data analytics. Like Google has products like BigQuery, Bigtable, which you can use, which is serverless, you can use and analyze your data. And third is data integration between cloud, which is very important because as we are moving multi-cloud, we need to understand what is where all our data is there, what are the secure parameters and how we can integrate that data. So let's have some interactive session. If you have any doubts, so you feel free to ask. We'll love to answer that. So we, in order to accelerate this transformation, we need to ask certain question to ourselves. For any organization, first we need to find that are we the best at understanding and using our data? Many companies have many sources of data. They have data in storages, they have data in databases, they have data in through CRM, Salesforce, but they are not able to get, they are able to integrate that data and use in an intelligent way. This is the first key question we need to ask ourselves. Are we using our data in an intelligent way? Second, freedom is that are we using best technology infrastructure, which is highly secure, in which we can apply our data and do the analytics. So these are the 4-5 points. I'll not go into deep all points, but again these are the 5: intelligence, freedom, connections, protection and sustainability. These are 5 key points which customers should ask themselves before building any data strategy. Wherein companies like Google Cloud and Persistent come into picture, help their customer to design and answer this question and create a collaborative solution. First question, are we the best at understanding and using our data, which I've already explained. So most complete and unified data and AI solution provider means we need to unify our data through various sources, create data pipeline and use tools like BigQuery, Bigtable and analyze our data and to get some insights. And through insights we can enhance our customer experience, we can study our consumer behavior and we can do some changes and improve our business processes as well as business metrics. This is one of the key question. And are we able to understand our data and able to scale, secure and reliability is one of the key. Why? Because we have petabytes of data, many companies have terabytes of data. They need to understand, are they able to scale their data and analyze the data in an effective way or not. So these 2-3 points are very important which we need to understand. So these are the industry leaders who have using our data cloud like SmartSniff by Mahindra, so Pizza Hut, there are some of the companies which we have mentioned. So I'll start off. So best way to explain anything is through a case study. Earlier whatever I discussed was the generic terms like what all we do, how we do, what are the challenges customers face and how they can cater to those challenges. So I'll explain one of the case study of SmartSniff by Mahindra. So it's a logistic company and the challenges they were facing, they want to digitalize their entire cargo transportation system, and secondly they have hundreds of transactions having every day. So they were looking for a solution platform wherein they can cater to this thing and digital transform. So what solution we have given? We have created a platform for them using Google Map API, because Google Map API was key to success for them, because in logistic company movement of vehicles and movement and having location intelligence is very important. And Google App Engine we have used an one Google approach wherein we have used Maps, Google Maps API, Google App Engine, Google serverless services and giving them a one-stop platform for the same. And after doing this, we have the data which they get. We use that data in BigQuery. BigQuery is a very good tool. Why? Because fortunately or unfortunately, people have data, but they are not analyzing it, and they do not have any team to have AI/ML team to build that models to analyze that data. So BigQuery is a serverless product from Google, wherein you just need to have your all data sources, have a ETL strategy to load your data on BigQuery and do analytics. So after providing this solution, we were able to deliver the app in very short span of time, and they were able to increase the footage, and average booking time for cargo vehicles reduced to 3 minutes. So for any industry, first we talk about challenges, what are the challenges, then we bring in our expertise, Google Cloud expertise and Persistent expertise, and bring solutions according to that, and then give the outcomes as per the business goals. So core agenda of any digital transformation journey is to understand what are the challenges, how we can work on those challenges, and finally have some good outcomes as per the business goals. So do we have industry leading technology infrastructure? So once we are clear that we are sorted with our data and we know what is our data strategy, data warehouse strategy, then we need to understand, like, are we using cloud migration and modernization easy or not? Is our stack in which we have developed our code is cloud ready or not? Is it like a very old technology we are using? So it's very important to know which infrastructure is best and how we can modernize our infrastructure for better results. And transform infrastructure with AI/ML capabilities is very important. So there are two products. One is BigQuery, Bigtable, which I have explained, but there is also Vertex AI. If any organization want to build the custom models, they can use Vertex AI as a platform and build the models. And we also help our customers to understand how we can build that model and give some insights. So these are some of the leading companies like MoMagic, Purple. Purple is e-commerce. So these are some of the companies. So Purple.com is a second case study. First we have talked about SmartShift, which was a Mahindra company, and it's a logistic company, what the challenges they faced. Purple.com is an e-commerce company. They have a huge amount of data, but they want to have a data strategy wherein like Google and Persistent can together help them in their data strategy. So what we did, we created the entire data pipelines. We are using Cloud Vision API and AutoML tools. So tools are also mentioned which we have used, and we were able to fetch their entire data to BigQuery and do the analysis for them. And outcomes that 25% purchases increase on the browser. So they were able to increase the business. Second, they were able to scale and able to scale in a very efficient way. So this was the case study of Purple. So do we know our data system and user are secure? So once we know that we have a data strategy, we can use that data, analyze that data through BigQuery and other tools. We can ingest that data, but we should also understand are users secure who are using that data. So for that, shared fate is first point. It's a shared responsibility model. So the cloud, when you choose any cloud provider, you need to know that is some of the responsibility taken by the cloud infrastructure provider or not, and some of the responsibility should be taken by the customer. And second is trust nothing and detect everything. So companies realized in-house solution is not very much secure, so they have went to cloud wherein they can have multi-level of security parameters such that they can customers as well as employees can access the cloud very easily. Any questions? If you have any question, you can ask. Yeah.
One of the key things that I think it's fine. One of the key things that I believe is a challenge whenever we are setting a data pipeline is the correct data structuring,
Correct.
data modeling.
Correct.
So how is Persistent or Google Cloud are able to help their clients in solving those problems? Because for companies who are startup or are against system,
Correct.
they don't have that kind of expertise.
Correct.
To the
Correct.
data modeling.
Yes.
So how do you solve that? My second question is, with OpenAI coming into picture, ChatGPT 4 launched today. So how do you see these AI-based tools that has been in market for long
Correct.
sustain?
So first question I can answer like so Persistent being a 2,000 plus employees company, but in Google Business Unit we have 1,000 plus certified engineers. So certified engineers in infra as well as data. So we have data cloud architects. So what we do, first we do a discovery where we understand what is the data strategy you are looking for and your data structure as well, and wherein we help startups, digital native company, and give them resources who can understand their infrastructure and give the solution to them accordingly. So there is no need of creating a team for the data strategy, wherein our team can come into picture and help you out in the entire journey. And second, what was the question? Sorry.
The question is with the rise of OpenAI, right? Now the companies can directly integrate with the OpenAI API
Correct.
and basically build their own AI ML models
Correct.
if required. So how do you see the AI ML tools or technology that is provided by multiple providers?
Correct. Correct. So the first foremost challenge in creating an AI/ML model is that you need to have a period of. I think you can help. Yeah. Yep. So he's also along with the from Google team. So we can connect and we can explain you about this. Yep. Thank you. And the third case study is about the NSE, National Stock Exchange. So they have their entire data in-house. So they are looking for were facing challenges to analyze their data. So they want to move their entire data to cloud, for analysis of their data for researchers as well as in-house team. So what we did, we moved lift and shift their entire data to Google Cloud. We used virtual machines, cloud storage, BigQuery and Cloud SQL. And after moving their entire data in a phased manner, we helped them out in analyzing their entire data. And they were able to easily access the entire data, do analysis and get better results from the entire stock trading data which they have. So, I started off with the journey wherein why digital transformation is important, what are the key challenges, what are the 3 top parameters companies are looking for the data strategy. So, why organizations are looking for partners, question which you asked, is that we have expertise, we work across industry, we work across BFSI industry, fintech, we work with e-commerce, we work with each and every industry we work with. So, we have a good knowledge base wherein we can come into picture and help our customer as per experience to leverage it. So, I will give you a brief introduction, as Persistent is the premier partner of Google Cloud in India. So, we have like 7 partner specialization and we have 900 plus is an old figure. So, the latest figure is we have 1000 plus certified engineers, cloud engineers, data engineers, wherein we work along with Google team, Google customer engineer and our customer engineer. They understand the use case, they give you a better recommendation solution. So, we work in a consulting way, wherein we understand, we give you recommendation, then after your approval we go and apply that for you. And we work across industry, like one of the is migration and modernization. If you are looking for pure lift and shift, we help in that. You are looking for move and improve. For example, your infrastructure is monolithic, you want it to move to microservices, we also do that. So, modernization is part of that, one of these small example which I have taken. Analytics and AI, which I already explained. So, there are 2 things, either you can leverage the serverless ready-made tools which Google has, or you can custom build your AI/ML models. And we deal in industry like healthcare and life sciences, BFSI and digital native company. And some of the proprietary product also we have, like PyCR. PyCR is Persistent Intelligent Cyber Recovery. So, this is one of the very key product in the industry, because cyber attacks are increasing day by day. Ransomware is one of the challenge wherein companies are facing challenges. So, this is a product wherein it help you to prevent from cyber attacks. And we have company one more product, SureEdge, for migration. So, it help you in migrate your data from in-house to cloud. So, these are some of the key vertical solution and which we provide, and we have 1000 plus certified engineers who help you out in the entire journey. So, thank you everyone. So, feel free to connect me if you have any doubt. I am there, so you can connect with me. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Manvinder. That was really insightful. You spoke about architectures and you spoke about how the workplace is designed to provide this ecosystem and the platform for business requirements. Next up, we have panel discussion. Here we get a chance to interact and understand the tech leader's perspective on accelerating transformation and setting up the right environment and platform for it. While the stage gets set up, I'll do a brief introduction of the topic that we are going to discuss. You just heard Manvinder speak about the transformation and the nitty-gritties of it, and we gathered insight on the industry changes as well. Moving a step ahead in the transformation series, we will throw light on innovating faster and better with an intelligent data platform as your backbone. Now, let's understand the why of this, all right? Everybody is stepping up in their innovation, and a crucial step in this assignment is transformation with the cloud. Now, delegates in this room are no stranger to it, but I will still reiterate. Your business outcomes are achieved much better with cloud as your transformation backbone. A transformation cloud, therefore, provides an environment for app and infrastructure modernization and data democratization. But what is key and foundational is the platform it is built on, which ensures ease of operations or customized solutions and cost-effective solutions as well. And we will discuss the importance of a tech structure like this, understand the journeys to share and draw inspiration from, and also quiz Google on a simplified solution. So I'll take a minute to welcome the panelists. Let's invite on stage Rahul Lohria, CTO and co-founder Mogi, Naishil Vardhan, CTO of City Mall, Rajat Khatri, AVP Business Intelligence, Ferns and Petal, and Prashant Dagar, Customer Engineering Manager, Google Cloud. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking time out for today's conversation. Rahul, let's start with you. What role can data play in the digital transformation agenda? And while you're talking about the journey of the organization, if you could also throw light on how that has become a catalyst in the post-pandemic world.
Yeah. So if we see, like, after this pandemic happened, right? So there are more number of people who came online, right? Because everything become online, right? Companies are getting more digital data now than ever before, right? So as an end result, they do need more processing power to process that data. So for that, cloud can only be one solution. This digitization, what it ended up, more competition is coming for the pre-existing player, which was earlier operating in a hybrid mode, maybe in a offline and online mode. Now everything is online, so lot of people came online, so competition is there. But the older player which are present there on the cloud, right? So they have lot of data and they can bring analytics through that data and do better customer engagement, retention, and lot more like that. So this is like, post-pandemic, every organization should be ready to process the data in an intelligent way and bring out awesome analytics from that data and increase the business revenue, minimize the costs, and finally create a super optimized organization.
Rahul, may I request you to also throw light on in the intersection of how it works when it comes to retaining customers or bringing in new customers and providing them some personalized solutions?
So customers do have journey over your web present platform. If someone at point by point monitors how does that customer is behaving with the online portal, with the mobile apps, or with maybe physical store also, right? So how much time it is taking during different processes, different steps, where time is getting wasted, or we can improve over it. If someone do that, that can increase the customer number of customers like up to 20 to 25%, and it has happened with lot of organization at different point in time.
Perfect. Thank you, Rahul, for that example. Naishil, we will move to you, and I would like you to throw some light on your journey, especially in trying to harness the power of data to build cloud-native applications.
Sure. Thanks. I come from City Mall, and City Mall is a horizontal e-commerce platform for tier 2, tier 3 cities. And since we are in e-commerce, there's a lot of data that is coming in. And we've grown over the last 4 years. With my journey, I would say we had different solutions depending on what size we were. So in the initial part of our journey, when the data was less, what we did is we used a SaaS tool to migrate data from different sources. So usually what happens is, in any company you would have, since we are moving to a SaaS-based solutions right now, the data would reside in different parts, different data sources. So you would have in-house data in Postgres, Mongo. You would have some data going to S3 directly. And then there'll be SaaS solutions. The clickstream data would go to some marketing automation tool. Your purchase data would go somewhere else. You would need to basically bring in all this data into one unified platform where you could run your analysis, because that is how you do it. You're able to basically harness the real power of data. So initially what we did is we integrated a SaaS tool to do that. what happened is the costs started getting ballooned up because of many events, and we get charged on events when you use a SaaS tool. So the second phase, we actually did a mistake. So what we did is we created replicas of the OLTP database, and we thought that okay, the business analysts could run queries on OLTP database directly, which was a big failure. You cannot run queries on databases like Postgres, Mongo, and MySQL directly when the data size becomes huge. So then came the third phase where we actually integrated data engineering pipelines, where we would have real-time data syncing from different sources, going into Kafka, going into Apache Spark, Hudi clusters, and then finally into a lakehouse formation, where you could still have the data in a data lake, and you can also have real-time data there. So that was the overall journey. So right now we are, after doing this, we are kind of prepared for the petabyte scale. But then before that, yeah, we made a lot of mistakes during this journey.
Could you throw some light on the benefits as well, some benefits that you might have accrued during this process?
Yeah, sure. So initially, what happened is, so the benefits are humongous. So basically, you get data from all your sources into one database. You can answer questions like, if a customer is looking at an SKU and has purchased it today, how many times did the customer look at it in the past? And this product was looked this product sells once if the customer looks at it 4 times, and the customer has seen this product 3 months ago and then purchased it today. So you can get insights like this. And so this brings a lot of power, and you can basically play around, have this app, have your app basically personalized for every consumer. So the app could look different for different consumers, and it is only powered through data. Also, such a data platform, what it brought us is basically, while we do it real time, what we could gather is, you could come on a horizontal e-commerce platform to browse shirts one day. The next day, you would probably be searching for bags. And I could not recommend you shirts, because if I was doing a batch process, I would be recommending you shirts the another day when you're actually coming to look at bags. So basically, you need that real-time thing going on behind the scenes.
Understood. Yes. So these patterns are interesting, and it helps to only further your business. And we will quiz Prashant more on the real-time data as well. But in the meanwhile, Rajat, you heard Naisheel. Now, how do you think a strong data strategy will prove to be a competitive differentiator in the business?
I think having a very good data strategy is always give you upper hand. And especially with a company like Ferns and Petals, who has a history of around 25 years now, and the kind of a data that we already have, we tried to go as historic as possible to see any kind of a data trend. When you see some data trends, you can predict the future. That is definitely giving you an edge over your competition. Second thing, with the use of extensive data, you can do a lot of AI and ML driven work, which is anyways the future, right? So that means you have taken a step ahead, which many organizations or many competitors who are like newborn, they don't even have that historic data to look into. And the third thing is definitely with the use of a data-driven mindset and a vision. Gone are the days when you think that, okay, I think this will work, right? Everyone says that, okay, let me challenge you, let me show you the data now, right? And when you start taking those kind of decisions, believe me, I have seen the CXOs getting surprised, because you assume that I started business with this vision, but the consumer is behaving in a very different fashion. And that's when you need to change your vision, your goals, and that is actually taking you closer to the customer and giving you an advantage definitely over the competition. So these 3 big advantages.
Yeah. So it helps you make a case to the board as well.
Definitely,
Yes.
it does, and that's exactly what I do every day.
Exactly. You spoke about the strong data strategies. I'd like to ask Rahul, what are some of the key challenges that enterprises enterprises face in terms of, say, intelligent data platform implementation?
So, enterprise face lot of challenges, and I see biggest challenges the motivation of the team, right? The second thing is data is very not clean or dirty, I can say, right? Data is not dirty, and people do not want to fill up each and every field, and it happened with both the people actually. Outside people, the customer which are filling up the data, they want to fill as minimal as possible. Similarly, it happens with the internal employees also. They do not want big forms to be filled. They want they would just want to fill 2 fields, 3 fields. Rest of the field should be optional. And if it is optional, no one will fill it, right? So having a clean data and lot of amount of data is next big challenge. The second thing is organization also don't have clear goal, right? So where to head, what we want to do with this data, right? Plus, organization even have distributed data, right? For example, marketing have its own data set, pre-sales have its own database, post-sales have its own database, and technology team have its own database, user behavior databases, different database. So every data is scattered. So data is not even unified, right? So unification of data is also needed, right? So if someone solves all these challenges, right, that time someone can take out best ROI out of the money they invest over data analytics, AI, ML, these things they can take full benefit from.
Rajat, would you like to say something on the challenges part? Rahul gave a very clear challenges list. So would you like to add something to it?
See, I more or less the points are already taken by Rahul. But yes, the challenge is always, that what exactly are we going to do with it? So just think of it as your house where you are just buying stuff and keeping it. So data is something like this. You're buying thousands of shirts, it's there in your wardrobe. You have so many papers which are there in the drawer. And the day you need that important paper or that important shirt, you open your wardrobe, you cannot find it out. Same thing is happening with the data infrastructure. There are so many tables, so many variables. Every transaction is capturing so many events. It's there. But once you have to find that very small business, get at, okay, how many people are coming from page A to page B? You have to run a very huge code, or it has to pass through so many variables to find that information. So I think what matters a lot is at the beginning of a year, to have a very clear data strategy, that these are like maybe the 10 business problems that we want to solve, and these are some 20 BAU metrics that we want to see. And have only those concerned data variables stored in one of the data lakes or data warehouses, and then keep running your business on that, which will make the one, of course, it will reduce the cost, it will improve the speed, and you can get answers like this. And any typical use case or any new problem that is coming up, that is where you need to, get into your big data and then fetch the results from there.
Understood.
I want to add a point here. So as he rightly said, some specific amount of data should be stored in the DB. But lot of time what I have seen, people are not even storing the data, right? Even even you are not very early planning to process that data, you should store that data, right? Put it on some static storage or somewhere, right? Whenever someone needs that data, right, you will be available with past 20 years, 25 years data, right? Yes. So storing the data is very important. Even you are not planning to process it right now. You don't know, after 2 years you need that data, right? So please do store the data.
Got it. Prashant, this brings us to you. There's one thing that Rahul mentioned in his answer, that is the data universe is huge and it is scattered. I would request you to speak a little bit about why enterprises need a unified and intelligent data platform to bring together this scattered data universe.
Sure. I think while these gentlemen were talking about, the challenges and their data platforms, in my mind, I was running through, all the conversations which I have with similar customers throughout the day, because that's my job. First of all, we need to understand that, having a data platform will, by virtue of being a data platform, will not solve all the problems, right? There has to be a right identification of the use cases and the KPIs and the questions which we need to throw at data platforms, right? So generally for data analytics, for the predictive use cases which we have, we start with the reverse engineering, right? We first, collection of data is one thing, but then we need to have some things in mind that this is what the outcome should be out of all the investment which I am putting it into a data platform, right? Because like Naishil mentioned, there are n number of sources which are there, and often we struggle with how do I first of all collect all the data which I need to answer those use cases which I have defined, right? So that's where unification comes into the picture. I should, rather than having 20-25 tools or softwares to bring those independent sources which have no relation to each other, hook into those and then collect that data together into some some sort of storage. The use cases will also differ whether I need the data real time or I need that in batch or in micro batches. So again, use cases will define the frequency of my data uploads. Once I have captured that data, using certain tools as minimum as possible, once the data is collected, then the next thing which happens is now I need to clear the data, right? It needs to be in the form which answers the question which I have in mind for my organization, right? How do I grow my business? How do I grow my customer base? How do I retain my customers? How do I acquire them? How do I increase my operational efficiencies and so on, right? So all those questions, and then the predictive ones, right? How would my business look 6 months down the line? So a lot of AI ML use cases now also increasing the complexity of how do I churn that data, right? So cleaning that data is again very important, and there was a question around how do I model it, how do I structure it? That's all relative, because if I don't have data in the right structure or form, again it will take me a lot of effort to get the insights which I want, and we may fail there again. We may not be able to get the answers which we require, right? So post cleaning and costs play a very important role at each of the layers which we just spoke, right? From bringing in to the storage as well. Like Rahul suggested, you start collecting the data, be it 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of your business. So which needs to be appropriately tiered, right? So that the TCO doesn't go out of bound and we are not able to get an ROI. So there are options available, on cloud platform which automatically does this life cycle management of your data and take the cost and all those things, into consideration. Once the cleansed data is available into the right storage, then the next thing is hooking onto these, last mile services or softwares onto it to get the right results, dashboards, my AI ML models and so on. So that's where again, cloud platforms like Google do offer, things like the service which we have is called Vertex AI, right? You can migrate your own models which you have created over time. You can use auto ML within that. If you lack the, let's say you don't have a data engineering or data scientist in your organization, you can use the created models for you. Just hook on, pull in your data which is available in the storage, and we'll have the models trained for you, right? So this unification of sources, collecting it into a optimized, efficient storage, something like BigQuery, and then having Vertex AI for AI ML. If you want to connect your own, let's say, Jupyter notebooks to that particular platform, it's perfectly fine. Customers do spawn a VM and have their Jupyter notebooks connected to this data platform, and they do self-managed, machine learning. So a lot of use cases depends on budget, depends on TCOs, your use cases which are there. And then finally, now I'll address this question around OpenAI as well. So I think yesterday
we'll take that question,
Okay.
but I would not like the flow to be disturbed right now. But we will definitely come to that question because I am also eager to listen to what you have to say. Naishal, could you throw a little bit light on using security by design approach when it comes to these platforms? Prashant, I'll come to you also for this answer. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever we are storing customers' data, there are a lot of things that you would that the customers would give their behavioral data to you, and a lot of things like phone number information, address information, which are like very critical, and they would be stored in secure databases, and they would need to be migrated to. And when you're using a data platform, they would be migrated to a unified data platform as we're speaking today. So a lot of sensitive data needs to be hashed before it's migrated, and then access for that data also needs to be controlled. That which team members in your org have access to what part of data. So there's a lot of policy thing also there, and a lot of tech intervention. Both of the things need to be there to ensure that the data is secure. And with the cloud platforms, at least the networking part, from the network side, you're protected, where you cannot, an external agent would find it very difficult to breach into your database, but then it usually happens when the security practices that you're employing in your company are lacking somewhere. So you need to have frequent audits of whether there are certain loopholes in the platform or not.
Thank you, Naishal. Prashant, could you throw some light on how Google has helped enterprises with a simplified cloud solution? And while you're at it, could you also tell about using security by design approach?
So, we certainly feel that security is, something which is really critical wherever data is involved, right? There could be PII data, there could be, other customer data. In India, we do have things like Aadhaar, PAN, also stored. These could be part of my emails as well, and various cells within my data sets, right? So, right from, it's like an umbrella, right? Security umbrella around my environment, around my platforms, wherein right from access to authentication, authorization, right? We provide services which should be used to control, various aspects of related to a user who is trying to access my, applications and databases and so on, right? So once the entry point is concluded using these services, it is controlled. There are, firewalls, there are DDoS protection mechanisms to have, external threats which are there, especially when we expose our application. A typical example is a retail app or a website, right, which is exposed to the world, right? So all these services which are available as part of the security umbrella, first of all, there should be certain level of knowledge within the organization where we and our partners like Persistent can help you to have that information on how do we, first of all, what all services are available, what threats, what problem they solve for us, and how do we deploy these in the most appropriate, optimized way to save on the TCO as well, right? Then comes, once I have access under control, once I have external threats under control, then there are things around data redaction and masking, right? Even internally, I would not like to expose all the data to some of my employees, right? So there are ways and means available to take care of that as well, right? There are things like data loss prevention. There are, FCAC, fine-grained access controls, where I can limit who can see what rows of a table and which columns and intersections of those and all those things. So all these things are readily available. And even when these are exposed to my, the last mile applications like my dashboards or my chatbots, we can have those masked, we can have those information filtered, right? And then encryption at rest, in transit, and even while the computations are happening nowadays, we have shielded VMs and confidential, data available, technologies available which can even encrypt your data while it is being processed into the RAM, right? So it's taken care of end to end, just that you need to have the right information and the right partners to have access through all these tools.
Understood. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you for throwing light on a simplified cloud solution, how it can help you make better decisions, and how security by design approach is really catching up and is the need of the hour. I would like to thank the panelists for taking time out for the insights that you have given us. It was a learning experience personally for me as well, and I'm sure the audience also learned a lot. In the meanwhile, if anyone has any questions, we would like at least 3 or 4, we would like to answer 3 or 4 questions, so do not hesitate to ask. Meanwhile, Prashant, you can talk to us about the GPT-4 models that are coming up. Yes.
Exciting part for me now. So we announced this, generative AI based services. I think yesterday we made it in private preview. We call it as generative AI. Palm APIs, you can do a Google search on it as well. And then there is a maker suite which is available. So the whole intent of these services is to provide you all these models which are already trained by Google. There are 500 billion plus attributes on which these models are trained. Currently it has limited access. There are certain process and forms which you need to fill to get access to this, but soon we'll be opening it out. But the key intent here is we are providing these as part of the Vertex AI platform, which I just mentioned, and even in our Google Workspace, right? So if you are using Workspace or Gmail, meeting software, chats and all those things, so all these will be integrated. There is a amazing video which was also available. You can find that once you do a Google search, which shows that I can do a summarization on my chats, on my emails, and then create a content out of it just by putting a question there. That if there is a long mail chain, I can just reply using this generative AI saying that could you summarize all this mail thread into a single mail, and then it sends it also, right? So these are some of the use cases. Now, when it gets integrated into Vertex AI, you have this option of customizing these models using your data as well, and then integrating both. So for example, I can use it for content generation. I can use it for my bots. If somebody is asking a question on certain product within the organization using generative AI, I can even club it with my, marketing applications and then throw an offer around whatever product the customer is interested in. So I think infinite use cases like this, these are some things which immediately come to my mind. But yes, these will be available now within the platform immediately as private preview, and will be GA'd soon. We'll have the dates as soon as it is done.
Thank you, Prashant.
Yeah.
Nothing has transformed like these explainable and generative AI models in the recent history. Any questions from the audience? All right, we have a gentleman over there.
Hello. Yeah. So you mentioned GPT-4 engines, plus Google is coming up with Vertex AI. I have a question, like with increasing demand of the kind of experience that they are providing, plus the use cases around GPT engines are going to be increased like at exponential level. So do you think like there's going to be challenges around scalability for the use case which can scale at this speed at a global level?
I don't think so, because if you see platforms like Google Cloud, most of the services are being used by very large players. Some of the names which we can take here, which are publicly available, things like Flipkart, right? So the scale is already huge. Infrastructure is like at Google scale. So I don't see a problem for enterprises that they'll hit the scaling limits on these services. At least at this stage, we are not anticipating that.
Okay, thank you. So I just asked this question because we are using OpenAI and APIs, and we are facing some issues related to like it's going down. Like from the OpenAI side only, like it's going down. So that's why I just wanted to understand like how to handle it a little bit. Thank you.
Sure. Just wait for the Google Cloud offering to be available and then.
All right, I think they're all waiting to talk to you personally at the networking dinner, to all four of you. So thank you so much. The gentlemen will be available, so do have a conversation with them more on the unified and intelligent data platforms. Thank you for taking time out for this discussion and for this conversation. I would like to take a beat, and we would want to give you a token of our appreciation. Can I request someone to give the token of appreciation, please? Neshil, thank you so much for being with us here today. 1 second. We'll take a group picture, so hold on. Prashant, thank you for your time and for your insights. Rahul, really love talking to you. Rajat, yes. We've ordered a lot of gifts from Ferns and Pedals, so this is... All right. Thank you so much. Should we take a group picture? Yes. Thank you, everybody. From here, we are moving to the future of work discussion. Transformation, fortunately, is a 360-degree activity. That means it changes the enterprise's entire infrastructure and structure. A primary concept that gets moved is work. To discuss more and throw light on what the future of work is going to look like, considering the relentless pace of evolution of tech, I invite Rajneesh Sharma of Persistent Systems to take the stage. Rajneesh is focused on helping companies operate more efficiently, adapt to changing needs, and drive workplace transformation by challenging the status quo. He also helps Google's partner build successful practices for workplace transformation. Welcome, Rajneesh. The stage is yours.
Is it working? So stage was overcrowded because there is a AI battle happening between Google and Microsoft. So we saw that, and the best part is that the battle is fought by two Indians. That's something to be proud of. On one side there is Pichai, and other side there is Satya. I'm very biased towards Google because I worked with Google for 6.5 years before joining Persistent last year. But I also worked for Microsoft earlier, so I think I have a more balanced, nuanced view about what is the right thing and what is the right company to bet on. And my gut feeling is that Google is the right company to bet on when it comes to the long-term fight on AI, because they were the first ones who started doing AI in a very massive scale level. And we see that in Google Workspace, we see in so many other Google products, YouTube and Google Photos and all that. Very exciting time for all of us. So I'm going to talk about Workspace, and I actually did Workspace business for Google for almost 6.5 years. I worked with the likes of Flipkart, you name it. I think about 99% tech startups were all on Google Workspace while I worked there. I happen to have customers like Flipkart, Ola, Swiggy, Zomato, so on and so forth, and very exciting times. So how many people are having hybrid workforce, hybrid workplace? I asked this question to some of the people. I think I asked you, and I asked a couple of others also. How many people are having hybrid still in their environment? I think most of the manufacturing companies, if you look at, they moved away from hybrid immediately after lockdown, and they don't have much of hybrid happening. But it's a challenge for all the ITES, all the new age companies. A substantial number of people are still working from home. And even in traditional companies, when you see today, there is a lot of hybrid work happening. People can work from home, or sometimes people say that we cannot come and we will take a meeting or something like that. So this is a very mainstream thing, and every organization is grappling with how to make that work in their current business scenario. But one thing I would like to talk about is that when the lockdown was announced, and it's a true story that I personally witnessed it, none of the Google customers had any major disruption in their business, because we all were used to working on browser, Chrome or whatever browser that you work on, any place, any time, and we never faced any challenges. Some of the other companies, I would not say Microsoft customers, but other platforms had issues because people were used to working in their office environment, using Office IP and everything. But Google customers didn't face any migration issues during the lockdown or post-lockdown, and hybrid was a way of life. But there are challenges with hybrid, and it's not an Indian phenomena only, it's a worldwide phenomena. There are a lot of challenges with hybrid work environments. You want to work together, you want to co-create, you want to have issues with regards to security and other things. And this is a challenge which most organizations face today. So nobody is getting it right, everybody's struggling. Even in Google, there is a struggle how to get employees back. And a lot of them are not coming back. They are used to working from Kanpur or Madhya Pradesh or wherever they were, and everybody's trying to get it right. So there are issues with regards to security. There are issues with regards to how we can be most productive, because it's a fact that, especially when it comes to the software teams, I think people are most productive when they work together. And a lot of people who run software team, and you know that people who work together, they can build applications better. So this is a constant challenge, how to make people productive in a safe and secure manner in this hybrid environment. So Google is, I think, most well placed to offer a hybrid work which works for organizations from a security standpoint, from co-creation standpoint, from innovation standpoint. And some of the statistics, we all know Google Gmail has, I think, more than 3 billion users, and Google Workspace today has more than 8 million paid customers. So, and that is led by initially millennials. So if you look at millennials today, I think quite a few of millennials are here in this crowd. And now the people you are hiring are either millennials, or they are mostly Generation Z people. And if you ask Generation Z people, they have started their life when they were 10 years or 12 years old. Their schools created their email IDs on Gmail or something like that. So they are very used to working in that Google environment. They understand how to work on Doc from age 10 or something like that. So this workforce is coming to work for us. And it makes sense if we have a Google environment in our office also. So these are some of the statistics, and I've seen it. All the fast-paced organizations where innovation is important, where change is important, there Google Workspace works really well for customers. So how it benefits? So I think there are different platforms, they offer different types of productivity and collaboration benefits. I think Google Workspace really helps in terms of creating connections between people in a safe, secure manner, and also innovation. Innovation is something which is done by all kind of organizations, whether they are tech, whether they are non-tech, fintech, whatever kind of industry you may be, but there is need for innovation. There are smaller teams today, and there was so much talk about generative AI and all that. Imagine in next 5 years, your organization may have 5 times or 10 times more turnover, but you may have fewer people, because generative AI would replace a lot of jobs or help you create more tech-oriented jobs. So there would be fewer people, there would be smaller teams, and you would do more with those teams because of all the generative AI work which is happening in Google Workspace and some of the other platforms. There's a video, and it would give you an idea about some of the things I just discussed.
What's my day look like?
Alert. Monday is a holiday in China. Shall I move your weekly meeting with the Shanghai team to 10 a.m.?
Only if I can meet with Sloan first.
Yep, accept. What else do I need to do today?
Meeting with Sloan confirmed, 9:15 a.m. today. I bundled the related docs.
Okay, great. Hey, Sloan. Super sorry about the late notice, but I just needed your brain on this.
No problem. At least we get to wrap this before the weekend.
Great. Let's jump in.
Before we get too deep, there's an alert on Typhoon Kosing. It could cause some inventory delays. Let's make sure Shanghai knows.
In that case, let's start with the schedule update.
A little context probably wouldn't hurt.
Good call. Let's add an intro. Too much?
Honestly, it feels a little long. And maybe a bit casual.
Got it.
Let's get an update from ALB before we commit to the schedule.
Let's add Jayesh. He's awesome.
Meeting request accepted.
Okay, clock's ticking. I think we're good. Let's get this ready for Shanghai.
Starting meeting.
Hi!
Hi.
今天是有点晚了，可是我们很高兴跟你开会。
I know it's late, so let's jump right in with an update from Jayesh at ALB on some possible inventory issues.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining. I just wanted to give you a quick update on the
So this is not a very far away vision. I think quite a few of this is already happening, and in next 2 years you would see probably our work environments would become like that. We'll speak to a Japanese in our native language, maybe Hindi at least, maybe some other regional languages also, Tamil or Bangla or something, and it will get translated in real time on a chat, and all these things are happening because of revolutionary stuff which is happening on AI. You might, if you use Workspace, I think some of the translation and other features are already available in English, but from one language to another language is on roadmap, and it will come soon. So very exciting time. Google Workspace, for those who are not aware of, it can be grouped into 3 categories. So there are tools for connections like email and audio video calls and stuff like that. And then there are creation tools like, for example, doc, sheet, slides, and all those things. And then there are control tools for your storage like Drive, and then there is Cloud Search, there are admin related utilities, there is Google Vault for your e-governance and compliance. 4 billion active monthly users and 7.5 billion daily Meet video calls. And another thing is, if you have used some other video collaboration tools, I think Google Meet is one of the lightest video collaboration tool, and 99% of Google meetings within Google happen on video, not where people get on a video call and just use audio. So this is a big cultural thing, and why we do that, why we used to do that in Google is because when you're doing a video call, you actually get to understand better about what the other side is saying. If you only do an audio call over a video link, sometimes the communication is not very clear. So these are some of the statistics. I'll let you read it. But in short, Google Workspace is a complete platform. It helps you build amazing connections between people, foster a culture of innovation, and Generation Z loves it, millennials love it, yeah. And this is the overview of a future organization. As I mentioned, smaller teams, you would have a lot of work getting done through AI, ML capabilities. You would work from anywhere, anytime. So these are some of the things, and all of them are available in Google Workspace today. I have seen organizations who have created great, great places of working together, all on the strength of Google Workspace. These are some of the things which are available in Google Workspace. If you are familiar, I would let you read it. And some of the things I think were mentioned also in the previous group, like AI summary, catch up on what you have missed, live captioning I mentioned, translation. Google Translation is available in many of the tools that Google Workspace has. Why you need a reselling partner like Persistent? So I think most of the organizations, when they start their Google Workspace journey, if they are a tech startup or something, they start on their own. They just use a credit card and get on the platform. But over a period of time, your complexities grow, and there are a lot of things that you can do with Google Workspace. You can create applications, you can build applications on natively, or there are tools available, like there is a tool called AppSheet through which you can create drag and drop applications. There are chatbot related stuff which a lot of people do. Many of my customers have created different chatbots for HR teams or other teams, and they save a lot of time by answering employees' normal questions and stuff like that. Chatbots have become very smart over the years. So a partner helps you with all this stuff. So you need L1, L2, L3 support. You need somebody to do change management and adoption for you if you are a big organization. And a partner does all these things for you, besides taking care of your billing, helping you adopt the right plans depending upon your size and in how many places you are present. So a partner organization is needed for all this. So when you're small, you can be on your own, 10, 15, 20 people, 100 people, but as you grow in size, you need a mature partner organization. And there are two more videos. I think this one video, if there are two, I think there is only one. Okay, so this video is about, I think you will have to play this video. It's about creating a project plan in Doc, how easy it is. So this was a very simple video, like what we just showed you, and all this is a day-to-day life of any Google Workspace customer. And 99 people, I think, simultaneously can work on a document. And I've seen some other platforms also, and if you use some other platform, you can try bring 15 people on a sheet, like an Excel or something, and try to work simultaneously, and then try on Google Sheet. In Google Sheet, you would have an amazing, flawless experience, and you can test it yourself how easy it was collaborating with 15, 20, 30 people simultaneously. And this is another thing, again, it is a kind of AI use in Google Workspace, and all these things, there are many hundreds of such features, so we are just showing you a handful of them. Please play this also. It's a wrap. Are there any questions? Happy to answer. Okay. All right. Thank you for your time, and see you in some time.
Thank you so much, Rajneesh. With millennials and Gen Z coming into the workforce, it's essential that the enterprises cater to these digitally native human beings. I would like to request you all to scan the QR code that is present on your tables to claim your rewards. And with this, we come to the end of proceedings. Thank you to everyone gathered here. You've been a lovely audience. And for our speakers, for taking time out of their busy schedule to share their insights with us, and to the team for facilitating this evening.